again. I hope everybody's keeping well and staying safe just now with everything that's going on. I'm back with my design team project for Artymaze. This is actually for March, but I'm a little bit behind. I had to move my children all over the place and pick children up from university and all sorts of things. So it's been a busy month. I ended up doing 2 little books this time because I made so much, and normally I cram it all into one little book and it ends up far too bulky, so I made 2 little ones this time. So they are quite dinky, and I think the papers inside are 4x6, but obviously it's a bit bigger because of the fluffy covers. I've used tweed on this one, and I've used, I think it's curtain material for this one. There are samples I had that I'd been given ages ago. And again, I'm becoming a bit obsessed with this bridal tulle. I think it's going to end up in every book from now on. I've just ordered another big pile of it. It's so soft and it's just so much fun to play with. So I think it's going to be in most of my future books. So yeah, I'll just get started. I'm going through these. So this is the first one. I've used lots of vintage laces and buttons. This is a shell button, and just lots of hand stitching. So I don't know if you can see, but the stitching on it's pink. The lighting's not great, but I'm right in front of a window, but it's so dull today. And it actually looked worse when I put my lamp on my desk on. So hopefully the lighting's okay. So yeah, so I've done a sari closure on here that isn't attached, it comes off. And I've put these lovely buttons on the end that look like pearls. They were actually on, people that have seen photos of this on Facebook, they were actually here, but they kept catching in the tulle because of the wee connectors, so I put them on there instead. So what I did with these ones is I made sort of soft floppy covers with these, so there is quite a bit of movement. There's two signatures, and they are sort of, there is quite a lot of movement, but they're really well, you know, they're well stitched in, so they're not going anywhere. But because of the type of cover I've done for this, and there is a bit of movement in these, and depending how you lie it, the pages can look a bit squint, but it is as straight as you can make it when you're doing a sort of like that, but it is a wee bit wonky, and it's just, I'm going with, it's the style of the book, because there's nothing really straight at all. And so yeah, so floppy cover. I've used the curtain material on the outside, and this is another bit of tweed I had on the inside, which I've put the tulle over. And I've got some vintage lace sandwiched between them. This is all hand stitched on, because I just love to sit and hand stitch. I don't use my sewing machine really at all anymore. And I've also added in a piece of fabric that the colours match so well, and I've just made it like a page. So this kit from Artymaze is the Butterflies in Blue kit, and it's lovely. I love blue, it's my favourite colour to work in, and the butterflies are just so cute. So I've really enjoyed playing with this one. So as usual, I've just done lots of little collagey bits and pockets and envelopes, and used quite a lot of lace and beads. And what I did do, I watched Shabby Soul did a video recently on the Tim Holtz glazes, which I don't have, but what I do have is like a clear embossing powder. So I just went over with, it's the Tim Holtz stamp that looks like speckles. So I used that, and then I used the clear embossing powder, and it's given it almost like a dew wet look, which I just love. I'm not sure if that's going to come up on camera, but I really like the effect. So I've used that throughout this book. So like I said, there's 2 signatures, and there's quite a few little tucks. I'm pretty sure these are from Artymaze's the ephemera kit that I printed out for my last journal, but I didn't use, so I've popped them in as well. And there's lovely journaling cards in this kit, with really lovely butterfly images. And what I've done is I've distressed them a wee bit more, and I've sort of dripped tea on them. I don't use coffee. I dripped tea on them and sort of moved it around to get this sort of splashes through it. I found that I have an inkjet printer, so I can't put wet stuff on top of the image, but I found that by using the ice paper, the photo matte paper that I use, as long as I leave it about a day after I print it out, I can put a little bit of moisture on top of the image and it doesn't run. It wouldn't work on normal copy paper because I've tried it and it just bleeds all over the place, but I'm guessing it's the higher quality paper. I can add a little bit more moisture and get you sort of complete it a wee bit and you don't lose the image, but I wouldn't put too much moisture on it, but you can put a little bit on, but I would leave it about a day after you print it so that your ink is well and truly dry before you try it. But I found it's working actually quite well, because what I tend to do is I print out my images and then I tea dye them afterwards, but with a very thin solution with a brush, and it works quite well. It doesn't bleed through because it's, you know, good quality paper. So these are the page images from the kit, which I have shrunk down. I do everything through my iPad, and so I can't be specific what size I shrink things down to. You have to do it manually. I'm sure there is a way of doing it, but I don't know how it is. So what I do is I just manually make them smaller, so they're actually all different sizes, but I like that, so it's fine for me. But again, these are all tea dyed, and we've got, so everything in this is from the kit, other than a little bit of Tim Holtz paper and some butterflies that I've decoupaged in. I think that's about it. So again, we've got these are from the ephemera kit as well, and the tickets kit. So this is the Tim Holtz wallpaper, which I think's got a lovely texture. And so we've got lots of little collages like this. I've decoupaged, I've used washi tape and then decoupaged these butterflies, and then I take a layer of gesso over the top it gets rid of the shine of the Mod Podge, and it also, like, these are really bright blue butterflies, which didn't really go with what I wanted. They were too bright, so it dampens down the colour, which again I like. And we've got little pages from these little Observer vintage books. Got a wee bit of vintage lace flip with various different types of tulle here. Again, it's from the kit. Some brown paper with I've used they're the little tabs that come with the kit, but I've basically decorated over on top of them, but the tag is under there. And again, I'm not sure if you'll see it, but I've done the embossing powder on there as well. So there's paper clips with various dangles on them. Sorry about my lights, we had a power cut a little while ago. I'm hoping everything doesn't go off again. So yeah, so this is the envelopes. I haven't got anything in these yet, have I? Oh no, I do. So again, this is from I think it's the collage papers. I've got lots of bits left over from previous books I've done, and they've all sort of ended up in here. And I've got a vintage letter in here as well, which I think I closed this one. It was quite flimsy, so yeah, I've closed this up, but I've kept this part of the envelope as a wee tuck, and I've strengthened it with some washi tape, which was the perfect colour. And again, I've got another wee collage there. Now I've got it's an Edith Holden book, but it's one of the little miniature ones. I think I've got it here. So it's like a really little one. The only problem with it is you can't take it out in double pages, except there's one centre one, but I've found that they all come out in single pages, so I'm gonna have to play with that and work out what I'm gonna do with that. And there's lots of stamping, and I've used gesso as well on most of the pages. And there's a little bit of avocado pink paper in here as well. So that's the other side of the envelope. I've just realised I haven't done anything with the tops of the tags, but I will. So we've got a wee tag. So here's this tea. So what I've found myself doing is dripping the tea and then letting it run down. After you've already tea dyed them and dried them, you do this over the top, and I've been quite having good fun playing with that. And again, we've got another wee tuck at the front here. So again, there's lots of room for journaling in this. I do try and leave plenty of journaling space in my books. So I've got a wee embossed page here with another wee bit of the ephemera. And this is a nice bead. It's the same bead that's on the tie closure. So I've got some extra wee bits that came with the kit that I've not used, so I've just gessoed them and popped them in. I've got another envelope here, which has got some paper and another check in it. I love this, it's really nice. So I've done a wee bit on here, and these are the Tim Holtz flowers. You get it as a wee bunch, but I sort of took them all to bits and used them singly, which I thought was quite nice. Got another wee pocket here. This is lovely, this lace I recently got on eBay, and it's actually silk thread, I think, that's been used. It is quite old, I think, but it is already torn up. It came in bits, so I didn't feel bad ripping into it a wee bit more, but it's lovely because it's silk thread that's made it. I've got some more wee bits in here. I'm going to have to go through with a brush. I'm feeling little bits of embossing powder because I made the really stupid mistake of deciding to emboss bits after the book was complete. I only did that yesterday, I think, or day before yesterday. So little bits of embossing powder, I'll have to make sure is long gone. So we've got another wee tuck here and a card. Again, here's the sort of wee drip. And another wee envelope with a wee card in here. This is 1967. And some avocado dyed music paper. And this is wallpaper, that textured wallpaper, and I like this bit was ripped, but I really liked how it worked with this bit sticking out, so I just left it. And there's a wee tab under there. So this is, I got a really nice necklace that had loads of these little silver hearts on it, so I'll be using them up over the next wee while. And this is I love these. These are there's a shop here called Fat Face, and they make the loveliest tags. They come with this nice string on them and a really nice blue image on them, which I've covered, but you just sort of see it and it just matched perfectly. And they're a really nice thickness, so I love using their tags. A wee bit of Tim Holtz paper, and tuck here. This is some vintage ledger I have. They're little bank books. So this is 1924. So I replaced the beads that I moved onto the other part with little glass beads. They don't catch in the tulle at all, so it's fine. And we've got another little envelope here. This is the wee coin one, and it comes with its own little card. So I've just pretty much left that as it is. I just put a little bitty on the envelope. I love this image, it's lovely with the blue. And another wee dangle here. And another wee envelope, which again I've done the matching paper page with the envelope. And there is a wee pocket underneath there as well. Excuse me. I've got another wee pocket here. This kit's lovely. It comes with all these butterflies that you can fussy cut out, so I've tried to use them throughout, and they come like that, and I printed them onto card, so they're lovely. And we've got a wee ladybug, and this is the back of that envelope, and I've just popped that in there. And on this back page I used a tea bag. It's not a used one, so it's just the way it comes, and I've decorated. I like the fact that the tag was pink, so I've gessoed it and things to calm the pink down, but it still works. Now this is some of the tweed that I've used on the inside cover. I've made into a wee pocket here, and I made a little book. And there's little tickets from the ephemera kit in here as well. So there's lots, these are just all my little scraps that I've made into a little book with a few pockets. And I've got these tiny, tiny little bull clips. Oh, it's just perfect to keep it shut. And then another wee bit here, and that's the last page, and more stitching on the inside. So that's that one. I think I'm heading, I think I'm only 10 away from 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which is amazing, considering I'm just so nervous doing these videos, and the fact that anyone wants to watch me ramble on is amazing. So thank you so much for that. So I think one of these at least will be for a giveaway once I get myself organised, because that's pretty, I'm just so delighted by that. So here we are, here's number 2. So this one's got the same beads that I've moved on to here, and this is just a bit of cotton sheet that had this lovely design on it that I ripped up. And again, that's not attached. So again, this one is, it's quite floppy, so there's quite a bit of movement in it, but again, it's well sewn in, so it should be fine. I've used lots of buttons on this one in little sort of clusters. I just layered up lots of little bits of tulle and lace, and these are, some of these are again the little mother of pearl buttons, but some of them are just vintage plastic ones, and I've done little seed pearls all the way along here, and again I've used the little glass beads on the dangles. So again, this is 2 signatures. It doesn't have a fabric page like the last one. I've used the fabric on the inside, and I've slow stitched, so I've slow stitched this layer to here, and then I stitched along the bits that I folded over and stuff on the outside. I've got a wee button down here. So again, I've used lots of this tulle. Let's check them in frame. So again, this has got lots of wee tucks and pockets. This was, I love this. I thought it matched really well. It was a freebie on the Artymaze Facebook group, so I really like them. Again, I've realised I've not put bits in my tags, but I will go through and do that. I usually do that all together with them. So again, I've got another wee pocket here, and again, these are just journaling cards from the kit. And this is one of the tickets. And this is another one of those fat face tags with lots of wee bits just stuck on and sewn. So again, I've used this decoupage butterflies throughout as well. This is a little bit of the ledger paper. I'm starting to use my stock of bits and pieces from A Tattered Dream. So this is that lovely ledger paper that you get. It was a perfect size for in here. And we've got a wee pocket here. And that's again some of that silk lace and some washi tape. I've used a bit of that wallpaper in here as well. And another wee envelope. And another wee tag here, and this is a vintage letter here from 1969. I like this letter. It's got an embossed sort of queen print here, which I thought was really nice, the way it comes through from this side. Oops. And again, it's got Edith Holden in the middle with the bumblebee. So I've got a wee flip here using that silk lace again with a few buttons. Not buttons, beads. I call things the wrong thing the whole time the minute I start doing a video. I think safety pins and paper clips, I interchange them constantly. Your mind just goes blank the minute you start doing this. Another wee envelope. All these lovely bright butterflies, and I think my favourite butterfly out of the whole kit is this one. I'm not sure what that says about me. I've got another wee pocket here, and this is a wee flip as well. This was just a little bit, I ripped it off something and it just ripped so lovely. I ended up making it into a little bow just so I could use it somewhere. And a wee glassine bag. Oops. This has got like a little crocheted butterfly underneath with the butterfly on top. That's the other side of the ledger. Another wee pocket here. And what I did with this one is I made it, and I've got this lovely washi tape which looks like script, and so I just made a wee flip with that one. And a wee pocket here. And another wee tag. I've got a little bit of embossed paper. It was, is it Annelis on, oh, I can't remember the name of her channel. She's from Sweden. I love watching her, all the sort of techniques and things, and she embosses a book page, which I thought was a lovely idea, so I nicked that. Is it Annelis Jounaling, her channel's called? Oh, it's terrible. I mean to write these things down and I never do. So this is a wee flip there. If I remember, I'll try and pop a wee something in there. Again, we're embossing here with a little pocket. Oops. It's the bit of paper's getting stuck. There's a little ticket in there and it's just paper. Another wee envelope with one of the little checks. And what I've done is I've printed these onto the newsprint paper, so they're really, really thin. It makes them feel really vintage. I've done that before in videos. You just buy it as a pack on Amazon. You just put newsprint paper and it just comes like an A4 paper pack. And it's great. If you're going to put it through your printer though, you can't try and put it through the printer on its own. You have to put it against a piece of card, and then the printer will take it off the card, and I've had no bother printing it. But if you try and put it in on its own, I'm sure it would be a disaster because it's really, really thin. But as long as you have a bit of card in your printer and just do one page at a time, it seems to work no bother, or certainly does for me. This is a sort of vintage letter, and I think it's one of these ones that you would open up, write on, and then tie up. But what I've done is I've used it like this in the book. I just love the fact it's this green and sort of works with the colours in these papers. And again, I've got Edith Holden here in the middle. And that's the other side of that one. So it opens out like that. And I've used that wee ladybug again. And another wee tag. Oh, this is the wee flip one that comes out and it goes over a page. Again, I will put something in there. So I've just collaged one side but left the other side as it comes because it's my favourite one. And it just goes over that wee page. And we've got another wee pocket here. Again, I've used scrap papers in this book, but I like this, like the grungy sort of torn bits sort of went with what I was doing here. And that's from the kit, and this was this, which I just used a ripped bit for the pocket and then added this wee bit to hold that in. And we've got another one of these wee books in here too, with again lots of wee ripped bits of paper and bits from the ephemera kit. Oh, I've used a few. I'm not sure if I used any in the book, but these are the labels from Tracy Fox. I printed them onto sticker paper, so I've got a proper desk now. I'm quite excited. So I've got a little bowl of them that I have backed onto sticker paper, so I tend to stick them on everything. Now, I've just kitted out my son's old bedroom as my craft room, so this is like a proper desk I have now. And I got IKEA storage. I was the last delivery before IKEA shut down because of everything that's going on, and so I've been spending my quarantine time sort of kitting out my craft room, so I had a very lovely distraction from everything, so it's been nice. And here we go, a few loose. So that's that one. Oops. Tying all that on. I need to do that just now. So there we go, that's those ones. I hope you enjoyed me rambling my way through them. What I want to do lastly is once I finish these, I was a wee bit sort of what I'm going to do now, and I'm still not sure what I'm doing now, but I watched, I think it's 49 Dragonflies, her channel, and she was making a sort of traveller's notebook, with vintage papers and things. So I literally just sat and paused and played her video and just worked my way along with her, and I had so much fun. I highly recommend it. I will put the link below, and I just went through, she makes it out of envelopes. So it's 2 big envelopes and then an envelope over the top here, and then lots of different ideas on how to decorate it. And it's so not what I normally do, like I tend to be a little bit fluffy, and this is sort of very different, and I just had so much fun with it. So lots of wee bits that I don't normally do. So I've used some of my Tim Holtz bits and pieces, and it's got sort of flips and bits that come out, and big tags, and I've got these sort of bits that pull out like this, and I've still got to make something to go in this big pocket and in these little ones, and I've got these big tags at the back. This is an old rent payment card which I ripped in half, and I put half at the back. So I've done these collages with washi tape on top of the Tim Holtz, and there's another wee pocket here in the back. So I've used the Tim Holtz clips to hold it all together, or I did, getting all tangled. Oh, it doesn't matter, I can do it after. So I had great fun doing this, because like I say, it's not my usual thing, and but it could become a bit more of what I do, because like I say, I really enjoyed doing something a little bit different. And so I would, yeah, like I say, I would highly recommend having a wee look, if since quite a few of us have time to spare at the moment. So anyway, that's me for now. I'll hopefully back with another video before long. Like I say, not 100% sure what I'm doing next. I will be doing a giveaway probably if my numbers keep climbing the way they do, so I think I will keep one of these for a giveaway. I'm not going to put anything in my shop just now. Our post office is inside a supermarket, and they're only allowing so many people in, and I'm not sure these are classed as essential. So I don't think I'll pop anything in my shop until things settle a wee bit over the next few months. But I'll see how things go. But thank you so much for watching. See you later, bye.